My friend Brian and I used to be big on urban exploration, especially in the dark. About a half-hour drive away from our houses is an old hospital/asylum that's been abandoned for decades. It hasn't been torn down because it's in a really secluded location and it would just cost too much money. Brian and I wanted to bring a Ouija board along with us and explore it one Thursday night. Pulling into the unlit parking lot and seeing the massive structure standing tall in the night, even we were having second thoughts. Gangs were known to hide out in this building, or at least that's been rumored. Surprisingly, there didn't seem to be any security patrolling the perimeter, so the process of getting in was pretty easy. We found a broken window that seemed to have been made into a common entryway by other urban explorers and delinquents. Brian and I have a lot of experience exploring abandoned structures at night, and admittedly, even we were creeped out by this building. We made our way to the highest floor and did a little exploring up there. There were so many holes in the floor that our confidence in the structure holding our weight was low. The floors were creaky and soft in certain spots, and there were rooms that led into dark nothingness. Every time I'd shine my light down into one of them, I'd have the haunting thought of someone or something being inside one of them. We found a good spot to set up the Ouija board and candles. Yeah, we went all out with this. When the candles were lit, Brian and I placed our hands on the planchette and began our attempt at communicating with some kind of spirits. We weren't really the type to joke around with it, so we weren't pushing it around ourselves just to mess with each other. However, the planchette didn't move the whole time. Maybe that was because our Ouija board session was interrupted when we heard a creaking noise coming from inside one of the dark open rooms nearby. It wasn't just a fluke noise. It was a steady, consistent creaking, once every 1 or 2 seconds. Brian and I quietly packed up our stuff, and he whispered to me to go shine the light inside of the room. I whispered he's gotta be crazy. What if gang members were in there? Brian whispered, forget it, I'll do it. I whispered no, but he either ignored me or didn't hear me. He tiptoed over to the doorway, which was pointless given that he'd be shining a light into the room. However, he never even turned that light on, because before he could, a distinct, quiet, short yet sharp laughing or cackling could be heard coming from inside the room. It sounded like an older woman's cackle. It was the most disturbing moment of my life. Brian screamed run, and we both ran down the 10 flights of stairs and back out the window we climbed in through. We continued running all the way back to my car and drove out of the woodsy property. We swore to never go back there, and we haven't. The thing that sucks is that we usually recorded our visits to places like this, and one of the few times we didn't,